Impact Masters podcast in collaboration with Africa's Talking Retold podcast, where every conversation sparks new insights. Join us as we delve into the stories of extraordinary individuals who are shaping our world. Movers and shakers in tech, policymakers, entrepreneurs, entertainers, and all those whose stories are worth telling. Get ready to be inspired, challenged, and transformed. Welcome, and let's embark on this journey of discovery together. Impact Masters Podcast. You can check us out on all social media platforms. You can also find us across all podcast channels. Simply search for Impact Masters, then subscribe, follow, and share. www.impactmasters.io. Here's your host, Michael Kamathi.
We got nothing. So while we are still doing it, people start getting jobs. We are lucky we left campus when the economy was doing well. I believe by the time we were stepping out or graduating, each and every of my classmates had something to do. Back then it would be what you want to do, like in line with your profession. Those who didn't went into banking, insurance, and they still did well. So what happens? I also, because no business is not giving, it's
and the man has to eat.
And the man has to eat. So where I used to do my attachment, I get my first job. Get thrown into
which place is this?
There's a surveyor called Mukeda, runs a survey firm called Alliance Land Surveys. So that was my first job. And then when I'm there, guys, you keep in touch, connections here, what's happening. And somebody, one of my very good friends, says, hey guys, Google is... There's a company called Google. We had known Google as a search company. But,
and map.
Yes. But they are hiring. They want to hire in Kenya. Surprise, surprise, they are looking for people with our qualifications.
And there are a few of you now.
Given how we are the second. We are the second class to graduate.
And was it the GIS course? Because also I know another guy known as Ben Sabo. I don't know if you're familiar.
I know Sabo.
Was it like a first GIS course across the country?
Yes.
Because also Ben is from JKUAT.
So, JKUAT was the first one giving GIS and the geomatics.
So this one was like, come on, maybe you are like 5 of you, but from the same class who applied for
this. I think the entire class plus the guys who had the guys who had graduated before as the first class, I think they had already gotten places, settled where they are. And so those of us who are now looking, we start doing these Google interviews. And I also actually didn't know how big Google is then.
Until you go there?
No, until I met a college mate. And he's like, oh, how are you? We are meeting in town. Oh, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. So what's up? We are working here and there, but I'm doing this interview at Google. And then she says, wow, Google is big. I'm like, what do you mean it's big? They've just bought YouTube for $1 billion. I'm like, okay. And then I land there and
it's big.
It's big. It's big.
And by the way, you're not seeing how big Google is, because also you worked for Google back in the day. Now they have a new office.
They are no longer a short-term place.
No. They are now, I don't know if I'm supposed to disclose it, but since we'll release this later on in the year or maybe even next year.
Okay, if you don't have to. I know they're big on NDAs and whatnot, so don't.
So this building where we have an office.
Okay.
Where we have an office beside the headquarters.
Yes.
And they have really gone where to like standardize the design and the feel and everything. And it has been happening for almost a year now. You can imagine the work that has gone there.
Okay.
One day I met them in the lift trying to take the fridge there, and the fridge could not fit.
So what did they do?
They had to dismantle.
Okay.
Make it a bit smaller
from the outside.
It's crazy, man. You can't do that. It was quite huge. It was quite huge. So they are really going big. Now they are more focusing on engineering. Yes.
Okay, that's nice. Because when we were joining, it was big. It was big. It was different. It was. I remember the nation coming just.
Did they have where they say you can't go? 5 steps without food.
Oh yeah. It was there, and we added weight. I can assure you that we added weight.
Yeah, and it's good food.
Good food.
Yeah, fresh.
Good food, fresh.
Yeah. So you joined them. You joined Google.
I joined.
So
Google.
what do you guys do when you join Google?
So when we joined Google, we were reporting to the Indian, especially where I was working as GIS guys. We are called GIS consultants then. We were working under India, and that was developing Google Maps in Africa. Up to date, I tell guys, I actually knew some towns from the aerial view even before landing there. If you dropped me in Enugu, Nigeria, I'll tell you, if you put me on this road, the stadium is on this side, this is on this side. Some cities were quite intensive, like Nairobi.
Yeah.
So I remember mapping the entire of Eastlands.
Because also of the structures and the chaos that people
yes
build with.
No, but it was basically, mostly it was roads and some points of interest, interesting ones. So that's what we did, mapping the entire of Africa. So when we were using Google Maps, the work that went in there was a team of like, were we 9? And our time is in there.
Yeah. Did you guys travel around Africa or just connected to the satellite
at a certain point we started traveling. Yeah. But when now Google was setting up these other offices, like Nigeria and whatnot. So a few colleagues traveled actually.
Yeah.
Then I joined Google .org slightly. Yeah. Because now this. We started in 2007, 8, 9. This is when what do we call it? The Great Recession, not depression, was happening. Yeah. And I remember a line there that says, "Scarcity brings clarity." Google in Kenya was started because the boss asked, "What are we doing in Africa?"
I hear that story a lot. And they wanted to set up in Nigeria, actually.
Yes, because his dad had been in Nigeria. He grew up in Nigeria. They had actually considered South Africa. And then here is Kenya doing well in 2003, 4.
This is the stable economy.
Yeah. Let's do it here.
They have never looked back.
Which is a good thing. Stable economy.
And now they are increasing the reach and the presence.
Yeah.
Because I hear now they are developing Android with the African in mind. Which is quite interesting.
What does that mean? I've been out of touch with this thing.
It's really interesting when you think about some of these software at scale. Most of them are developed by other people. And you see, even when you are a software engineer, the creativity you put into is because of your experiences.
Yes.
Rarely will you find lead engineers are Africans. Or even if they're Africans, maybe they're Stanford educated. Maybe they relocated when they were young and so on and so forth. And a lot of Indians and Chinese doing it. But for the longest, you see also Africa, you cannot ignore 1.6 billion people who are really 70% are really young.
Yes.
And the economies are growing left, right, and center. So one of the key ideology around this is like, what happens if these guys find this useless? Because remember also we have so many language dialects across Africa, over 2,000.
Okay, nice.
Swahili is big after English, but you never find that in Android. Well supported. So most of these big tech, Mozilla, Google, Apple, are now starting to take this serious.
And that's quite the natural way to go, because they are the first companies to actually start making things quite personal. Absolutely. The advertisement, you see the whatnot. So it makes sense.
Yeah. So there's that. That's why they are
happening in Africa is developed by people who understand and know it better.
Exactly.
Oh yeah. Nice move.
So I think that's why they hired Jack Ngari as a CTO to just lead some of those initiatives.
Awesome.
And there are so many other positions that are coming up to really address some of that. And it's a good thing, actually. So it's good to see this in my lifetime, where Africa takes a center stage. And I think even, I feel like a lot of things might change, even the way we approach humanity. Because Africa culture is human first, anything else later. And that brings a lot of kindness.
You've hit it. Human first, everything else.
Everything, because if there is no human, the nature doesn't make sense. But if you address the human issues, even what you're saying, climate change, corruption, all those things that actually make people
mental state,
mental health.
I read for the Gen Zs, the biggest issues are climate change and mental health.
Yes, because they're ignored. And you see, when you're ignored, sometimes people don't listen. And if people don't listen, they don't really address your problems.
Yeah.
So all that is really, really amazing. And I think more companies start to really prioritize some of these things, even in their solutions, in how they treat the employees, how they interact with the community around them. And you'll find some of the subtle problems that we have in our societies get addressed over time. Yeah. So that's a detour. I just thought we should address that.
Which is a good one. So let's summarize Google. What did I learn from Google? Two things I learned from Google. One, in the digital age, I wouldn't want to say it your competitor. But yes, if you're in business, it will be your competitor. Your competitor is not what conventionally used to be.
Okay.
Let's say you're selling chicken. Your competitor might not be the guy selling chicken.
Absolutely.
Well.
Yeah.
You see how Google transformed the advertisement industry. Yahoo yes took a hit. But who are the other people who actually got hit most? The media, the traditional media houses.
Yeah.
Because people moved from advertising there to Google.
Yes.
So they just disrupted that industry completely. And I remember during those days, we would hold meetings with the major media houses. In hindsight, one of them told me, those were our golden years. We could not start looking at Google can disrupt or...
They're just another tech company.
Yes, it's just another tech company.
And they'll be faced by...
And who are they?
It's called what? The .com bubble come again.
Yes.
Yeah.
The other thing is... yes, companies are there doing CSR and whatnot. But one day we were asked in the office, what do we do to get our products out there? Gmail, whatnot, the suits now. And at this point, my boss was, he was even when I left, Joe Musheru. And I remember they just asked for ideas. And I remember saying, right now people are on Yahoo and whatnot.
Yeah.
It would be a good idea if we went to the universities and started introducing these things to
the students.
Yeah. Now, it's those things you write down as your ideas and you forget. But actually, maybe it rhymed with something else somebody out there had thought about.
Yeah.
But that's what Google actually did.
We
didn't start going to farms and companies and start telling them, hey, here's G Suite, it's this good. They started going to the university students. I think even at some point to secondary schools and just introducing the Gmails and the whatnots. That's just a 4-year investment. Because after that, these guys are the ones coming into the job market. And they are like, we use Google. What do you mean?
You're familiar with this.
Yes, we are familiar with this. And before I know it, everybody is on G Suite. And
do you know how long that takes? 2 to 5 years.
Yeah.
To disrupt that entirely. Because, and I think also, still people don't get it, to be honest. How important it is to introduce these things to the university. And one, the learning curve is not that steep. 2, they have nothing to lose at the end of the day.
I think the only other people who get these and understand it are the intelligence services, like the CIA.
Yes.
They go to a country and start teaching them what an AK is.
Yeah.
By the time you're 18, 19,
you are a customer.
A Kalashnikov is used to kill so and so. You have read that one, but that one aside.
Yeah.
So, those are the two main things I learned while I was at Google. It's no longer symmetrical. It's a symmetry.
Yeah.
And then it was affirmed when I heard Michael Joseph say, my biggest competitor right now is not Airtel. It is EABL. Reason being, I'm selling credit at 100 bob. And beer is probably 100 bob. So a guy is thinking,
should I have a beer
or should I...
Because beer goes every day.
So you see, so how you're competing for that 100 bob from that guy's pocket.
Yeah.
It's not...
Matters a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not your traditional rival.
Yeah.
Somebody else wants that.
No one actually thinks, should I buy Airtime? Whatever they have Safaricom line or Celtel.
So he was actually saying, these guys are not giving me sleepless nights. My sleepless night is now, how do I make sure somebody says, before my beer,
Yeah. And I see how they disrupted that.
Yes. Yeah. I buy Airtime first.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you see.
Yeah.
And then, of course, changes come. You're there and you're feeling like, okay, so what next?
How long were we with these guys?
I think 2 to 3 years.
Okay.
Thereabout. And then you get a bit uneasy. I came to realize later on that I work better in sort of startup atmospheres. So I start my own company. Because I just wanted to map. I've seen how maps, satellite, APIs are working, and I'm like, this is the way to go.
Yeah.
I get a few gigs. My supervisor at Google, a Dutch gentleman called Mark, also quits Google and starts a company called Upande Limited. So the natural thing is to join him.
Yeah.
And I joined him and we worked in Upande for almost... I worked there for almost 9 years. And I pride us for being the very first ones to bring in a drone and a fixed drone, the copter,
fixed wing,
into the country. Sadly, not to help us here, but it was for a project in Nigeria. We brought these things, and I say... There is somebody who works for one of the media houses. I think it was Nation.
Yeah.
Stupidly flew a drone in front of the commander-in-chief and the chief of staff during one of these functions. So
to record the event? Or
yes.
Yeah.
And just stupid show off. I see it was Kibaki then.
Yeah.
May he rest in peace.
Yeah.
They're looking at this thing and they're like, what the heck
someone
is
wants to assassinate the president.
What the heck is this up here?
Yeah.
I remember watching those videos.
Yeah.
And after that, it became totally impossible to do anything with the drones ever again.
Yeah.
You see, technology comes to disrupt. Back then, if you wanted to map an area, you'll need a plane.
Yes.
You'll need a pilot.
Yeah.
And those guys are not cheap.
It's quite expensive.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you'll need all these regulatory blah blahs that come with that.
And even for movie entertainment.
Yes.
You need those cranes or whatnot.
Here comes a toy that can fly for an hour and giving you good resolution imagery. At what price?
Maybe
500,000 shillings there. Because for our professional work, you need the fixed wing.
Okay.
Yeah. And all of a sudden, because somebody did that, people now start asking, what the heck is going on?
Yeah.
So regulators, the law is always
it's not even
when
ready.
it comes to technology. So the best they can do is just halt it.
Yeah.
Like
you
want to be flying drones, you need a pilot to do it.
Yeah.
You need to give us the flight path.
Yeah.
Like, goodness.
Yeah.
This thing is so simple.
Yeah.
Even a kid can fly this thing.
Yeah.
In fact, you program it when it's down.
Yeah.
So, And then also there is the first time we started doing digital mobile collection. It has never been documented, but we were the first. The problem...
What is digital mobile collection?
Did you ever see how they used to do surveys back then?
Oh, okay.
What was this company called that used to conduct tour moves before it became Synovate and whatnot? There used to be a name. They were the first ones even. They're also breaking ground, doing surveys and telling us this is how Kenyans are, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
You'll get a paper...
Fill it in.
And whatnot.
Yeah.
We discovered there are tools you can use and all you needed was a mobile phone.
Yeah. I remember making a lot of money through Airtime in campus. Yeah, to tunes of thousands.
What were you doing?
So we found this link, and you know how campus is, University of Nairobi. So we are always trying to hack something or to break through and become these nerds who know things that others don't know.
Yes.
And then it's shared around a group email that we have. And we check it out and it works. So if you fill in this survey, you get some like 500 or 1,000 or 200 or 100.
Okay.
So when there's no class, or maybe the lecturer has postponed the class, you go to the link. You make like 2,000.
Oh, wow.
So what you do, because you don't need that much airtime, you'll call your relatives or friends or whatever and tell them, I will sell you this airtime at a discount. So send me the cash through M-Pesa. I send you the airtime. So you still have cash. Yes. And I remember we made a lot of money before these guys realized there was an error on this link. I can't remember what it is.
But there was
a lot, you know.
So you guys were filling in.
My man, we made a lot of money. For that semester, I don't think I struggled eating in the special food cafeteria.
It's called a stress test for them.
I left the poppers on the other side. I was always on this other side where you're served with the lecturers. Yeah. So I remember those days, and those are the days when EDIOS was new.
Yeah, I was coming into now EDIOS. So when we float this idea that why do you want to use papers to Synovate? It had a name then before Synovate.
Yeah, they changed it. I'll check it as you speak. Yeah.
So we sell them this idea, collect data using mobile phones. It's easier, it's better. What are our problems in entry problems? One of the biggest was, of course, internet. But then techies think fast. So that thing could be put on the phone and you can collect data offline. So that's solved.
Yeah.
But now our problem comes in the cost of the phones. You know, printing paper was cheaper.
Yeah.
So you tell guys he has 1,000 people out there. This is the 2010s, 11s. The price of a phone, a smartphone, was way too high. So when you start telling them a phone would cost you 20,000 to do this, they're like, let us continue the way we have been doing it. But then what happens? The famous EDIOS comes into the market.
Yeah, the first Android phone in Kenya.
Yes. And the price is almost half.
Yes. Targeting who? The university students.
Yes. And we are in business.
Yeah.
Just because of that change.
Yeah.
And we are already into business. Because now guys are like, the phone, of course it's not for communication and too much for us. It's for data collection.
Yeah.
So we have moved from talking 30,000 for a phone to around 10, then 7, because you know the price really dropped fast.
Yeah.
And data collection for a period became our bread and butter because we had hacked that. And before you know it, Kenyans are quite good at catching up.
Yeah.
Everybody is doing mobile data collection.
Yeah.
The same way everybody became a GIS expert after it caught up.
Yeah.
So as Upande, we start pivoting into this thing. You know, the first time I heard the word, I was like, this is interesting. It's even funny. The Internet of Things. Like, what do you mean, the Internet of Things?
Yeah.
And maybe my brain was then warped because it's the same time I heard the song, These Are the Things. These are my things. So I'm like, who the heck?
Kamba King of Benga.
Yes. Who the heck names something the Internet of Things? But then it's still in line with GIS.
Yeah.
I did not explain GIS. Geoinformation system is the collection, cleaning, and dissemination of data.
Okay.
Yeah. How do you collect this data? You can collect it through remote satellites.
Yeah.
You can send people on the ground, or you can have devices there collecting the data. What is IoT? IoT is devices talking to the internet to inform you about something. So it's like we have left remote sensing. It's like we have left mobile data collection. Because this is one of the major things we used to find when we are doing data collection. Data is only as good as its current.
Yes.
So you find a client, the UNICEF of this world, mapping water points. So the guy goes there today, collects data via mobile and says, this pump is working or this well is working. How about tomorrow? How do you know it's still working? How many volumes, liters of water is it producing?
Yeah.
The best thing is to have a sensor down there that says, today,
the density is
liters.
a bit, yeah.
Tomorrow, about 20 liters. The depth of the well, the water is at this much. You know, And that is current data. So we started looking into the Internet of Things. And we went into water and agriculture.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because mobile phones have also caught up. Internet is no longer a thing. When I started browsing in this country, internet was 10 shillings per minute. And by the time I was in campus, and it used to take like 2 minutes just to open a Yahoo page. And by the time I was joining campus, I remember my friend telling me a place in town that cost 50 cents, and everybody knew that place.
Yeah. Was it a cyber or?
A cyber now.
Yeah.
Businesses that came and went just because of changes in technology.
Yeah.
So, you're a farmer, and I was actually affected. You're always farming. No Nairobian has one job.
Yes.
You're either doing your job and you're farming at home or selling. So I was farming.
There's always a side hustle.
There's always a side hustle with Kenyan.
Yeah.
So I was farming at home, and of course I have somebody there monitoring. But you see how sometimes we speak. It's a culture thing. Guy just doesn't tell you. If you do not buy DEP by tomorrow, these crops will be done. Because it's a place that had flooded. So when I call, the guy is like, you need to... So if you get money, so the message I get is, if I get, things are not bad. But when my dad actually goes there, he's like, don't even bother. This maize is already spoiled. It's too much. And I tell myself, if I had an app, and the sensors on the ground, they would have already told me, your soil is turning acidic. Just buy the right fertilizer and put it there.
To complement.
To finish the acidity. If I had an infrared camera, it would have told me these things are yellowy. I don't even need, the soil moisture as well. So, at Upande, we had pivoted into agriculture and water. Now, the problem was water is also a bit different.
Yeah.
There's something called non-revenue water. Most of the water companies in Kenya, lose up to 60%, some even up to 80% of their water.
That is through wastage.
There's commercial and non-commercial waste.
Okay.
The commercial one is where you are under build or you're not build.
Yeah.
And then there are the physical losses where there is a leakage between this pipe here and this junction.
Yeah.
There's either a leak or somebody is siphoning. So if you're a water company and you produced X, and the price of water, the cost of water is M times X, you're supposed to collect this much. So if there is a leakage somewhere, you'll be able to tell, we produced X, we expected this, we are collecting this. So where are we getting losses? Is it from the billing side, commercial side, or is it that water is... So with a few development partners, we worked on these ideas, and then I also got my lessons there. That chaos has some order. Chaos has some order.
Especially in water. Water in Nairobi is a big business, but also it's an interesting cartel business.
Yes.
It's not that we don't have enough water in Nairobi. That's one thing I realized. It's just that it's controlled so that to create demand of salt and ensure that it's a business.
I didn't talk about Nairobi, but I just knew chaos. There's some order. And if you see some chaos somewhere, as somebody told me, there's somebody benefiting from that chaos.
That is the order.
Yes. So these losses, you'll go somewhere and pitch and tell them this and that. But then guys are not so keen on this solution. My friend.
The solution works, but the implementation is not there.
Yes.
And that's how it didn't make it.
Yeah, that's how it was never picked.
Yeah.
It brings some transparency.
Which is not good for business.
Which is not good for business. It's good for business, but not some other kind of business. So guys will listen to you, they'll laugh with you, they will like it, and then they'll keep liking it for 2 years, 3 years.
And you need it to go to market in 3 months.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, then I realized